This box is small, but what's inside of it definitely packs a punch. Bang! Neeves Knives. I'm Jared, and today we have the BESTECH STRELIT, something like that. And it is a foldable punch tool or punch knife. It has a very snappy action. It's incredibly snappy because the blade does not have far to go, and you have multiple ways to deploy it. You can flick upward, you can reach over, you can easily reverse flick this. One of the most easiest knives to reverse flick because the blade sticks out a good amount and you don't have far to pop it. So it's just super easy. Nice and comfortable in the hand, and we are going to test this on some leather here in 1 second to see how it actually works. Now, I'll be honest, I kind of wish I had the titanium version, and the reason why is, well, one, because I like this a lot. This is very cool. So I'd love to get the titanium version. But another reason is it's not a thin liner, but it's a liner lock, right? So I kind of worry about with punching that the blade is angled down like a claw, right? So you're supposed to maybe do clawing motions, but if you were going to punch with it, the pressure is going to hit the tip this way. And it could possibly, maybe not likely, but possibly fail, especially if you hit something hard. So if you hit something hard, it could possibly fail. Now, the beautiful thing is, though, most likely it'll just lock back up because it can't go anywhere. And when your finger's in the way, it really has no place to go. So maybe it'll pinch you a little bit, but it'll just pop right back into locked position. So I don't think it's that big of a threat, but the robustness of a frame lock and the fact that when you squeeze a frame lock, you actually make it stronger would even be better, in my opinion, with this. Now, that's not saying that this isn't very awesome still and wouldn't work very well, most likely. You know what? Enough talking about it. Let's test this baby out on some real thick leather. The leather we have is cow leather, and it's 2.5 millimeters thick, so nice thick leather. Let's test it out. Okay, we're going to do this again. This time we have the skin layer out, and we're going to cover it with a shirt to give it a little bit more protection. See how it does. So, obviously still very devastating. It hooks in so good, so as soon as it hits, it's like it pulls itself inward. So it's very hard to not, just gouge right in. It's like a cat claw, where once that tip hits, it just pulls itself right in. All right, so all in all, this thing is much more effective than I would have thought. It definitely tears and rips very effectively, and it's not like little cat scratches. This thing really tears things open, and the puncturing actually went through a lot easier than I thought it would. And you can always punch and twist and things like that, but the clawing, man, as soon as the tip hits, it just pulls itself right in to make devastating wounds. Now, it has 14C28M blade steel. I'm very happy with that because that's a very tough steel, and it's going to be, because it's a thin blade. It is a nice thin blade, but it's thick enough to where it's going to create a nice wound channel. So thick enough and slicey enough. Then the neck of it has a good amount of thickness to where I don't believe it would snap or anything like that. It feels like it'd be pretty tough, especially with a nice tough steel like 14C28N. It's extremely snappy, and it's very very fidgety. There's so many ways to deploy it, from reverse flicking off the top part to reverse flicking off the blade. You can thumb it up. You can slow roll it up. You can just easily just snap it open with the flipper tab. You can also thumb it from the flipper tab. It's pretty quickly to get from the closed position, open position into a grip. It's actually relatively fast. So rapid deployment and pretty quickly into the grip you're going to want to use. All of them are equally as good and very easy to do. And in the grip, it does feel very comfortable. You know, using it, it wasn't irritating in my hand. And like I said, it felt very effective. Now, as far as the liner goes, you know, I think it would be okay, you know, especially like I said, if it did fail, I think it would just stop itself and probably lock itself back open. I would rather use a frame lock version, but it is what it is, and this is the more affordable option. Now, all in all, I think it's pretty awesome. I think it's pretty badass, and I think this could be a very effective tool in a pinch or like in a clinch. And when I mean a clinch, I mean, you know, if you're tied up in a way and there is no way out, right? There's no way to run, no way to back up. You're stuck in a corner, back against the wall, in a vehicle, something like that. This can definitely be pretty effective. Like with everything though, you should definitely train with it, because the most important part of the tool is the user. So make sure, you know, you educate yourself with it and do the training necessary if you're going to carry it for that type of purpose, because it doesn't do any good if you're, you know, if you just wind up hurting yourself. So anyways, very cool. I'm very happy to get this on the channel. I love you guys. Thank you guys for watching. Peace.